It is now time for us to review headlines of today's newspapers.
All right, Kachi, we start with the newspaper of record this day. Let's take it from top to bottom. The window story says NNPC hints at selling Nigeria's refineries, says rehabilitation becoming complex. And the rider reveals cost of production now $25 to $30 per barrel. MOL's stock market listing in 2028. Well, I don't think that NNPC will be saying anything new, because essentially what they're doing is to put a lie, to what the previous leadership of NNPC has been saying, lying to Nigerians through their teeth that the refineries were working. But of course, they know that they were not working. We know that money was wasted, but yet we had a management that will even concoct, reportedly, area boys to come and protest against people, who are analyzing issues and saying truth about them. But the new NNPC say that, no, we can't continue like this. Let's buy the bullet, let's move on. And Dangote also, in some of the headlines of today's paper, says that it won't work. When Obasanjo said it the other time, they said, oh, Obasanjo didn't know what he was saying. But then, this is a new management of NNPC saying that
same thing.
It's money wasted. Don't let us continue to pump money. Below that story, Akpoti Uduahan writes Senate to resume July 15th. Appeals contempt conviction. That story is on page 8. Isn't it interesting? On Sunday when we had this discussion,
we were having this conversation,
you remember,
yes, I do.
Natasha promised that she was going to resume on Tuesday, but then she said, oh, I will have to wait till I see the CTC.
And it's been seen.
It's been seen now, and I think it is clear that there was no order.
There was no order
from the court to say take her back, but there was a suggestion to say that you have the right to instill discipline within the Senate, but then you can consider maybe having temper justice with mercy. And in any case, she will have to write an apology letter. She will have to pay a fine, but she said no, I will appeal it. If you are appealing the judgment that is making a case for you to go back home, how therefore, on what basis do you think that you will be allowed to go back, given that the Senate has even just removed her as the chairperson of the committee on diaspora? I think that wisdom should have to prevail. Steve, apologize and let's move on. At
this point in time, I have to just agree with you, stooping to conquer and at a time like this, because I think the basis for the celebration and the victory, was on the fact that it was believed and perceived that this was an order that was given for her to be recalled.
It's unlikely that the court would have given such an order.
Exactly, and that CTC now being made available and seeing that this was an advice, to say, okay, listen, this is our ruling, this is our judgment on this. This is not an order to say they're going to impede on the regulations that already exist within the Senate.
And the authority of the National Assembly as an independent body.
Institution. There are three arms of the government: the executive, the legislative, the judiciary. And each one cannot impede on another.
Absolutely.
They need to function independently, which is why this does not surprise me. So I think at this point in time, Senator Natasha needs to look at the bigger picture and the bigger goal in this fight and do what needs to be done to get back into.
She needs wise counsel
to get back into
so that you can continue. She can continue to
it's
represent
important
the good
at this time. I think
Kogi Central.
Because what's the appeal trying to prove?
It will delay, it will drag, and then it will look like you are still fighting.
Because the court has said this is what they didn't disagree with you. They didn't say that you do not deserve to be recalled, but they're telling you based on several issues. This is the reason why we would say this is how you can get back in. Apologize, pay the fine for contempt.
Absolutely.
At this point, I think we're just dragging and we're dragging this exceedingly.
It's a needless drag. We'll move on. The other story there, all set for Lagos local government elections today.
Yes, today.
Sanwo-Olu calls for massive participation by residents. I mean, from what we have seen so far, the Lagos state government is very much invested in this particular election. Before, local government election used to be, okay, yes, let's roll with it. But this time around, there is a lot of seriousness to it. And I commend the Lagos state government and governor, for putting so much, into it. And we hope that the best candidates will win across board.
Exactly.
The lead story itself, we've talked so much about it. Presidency, Shettima not fighting Tinubu over Fubara's suspension, says President acted in good faith by suspending Rivers Governor. ADC asked Tinubu to recall Fubara. Shettima departs Abuja for Sao Tome today. That's beautiful small island. You know, I've been there a couple of times, and I have very fond memories of Sao Tome.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
We've discussed this, and Senator Ayuarishe, the point has been clearly made.
He wasn't disrespecting or disapproving with his principle. I think that has been said, and anyone still trying to enforce that narrative clearly has a separate
maybe
motive
we'll
rather
have
than the obvious.
to be guarded, you know, when the vice president, that is, when he goes out, you know, to say stuff like this. You know, be careful what you say.
Especially at a time like this.
At a time like this.
Where everybody's
because of those who might want to,
on
read meanings into what you're saying.
unnecessary meanings, albeit, but still.
Last but not the least, the story on the cover of This Day Today on page 5. Tinubu backs AFRIMA 2025.
Yes.
Federal government inaugurates LOC. I think this is an important story for the creative industry in Nigeria, given that the African Union has given Nigeria the right to host the AFRIMA of this year. The last time the AFRIMA held, it was in Senegal, where the president, received. And I like the fact that, yes, Lagos State will be hosting AFRIMA, clearly the biggest music event on the continent of Africa. Music business summit, music concert, and then the award ceremony all coming in the last week of November 25th to 30th. What is important is that on the basis of the letter from African Union to President Tinubu, the federal government has now formed a local organizing committee, being marshaled between the Ministry of Creative Economy and Culture and, of course, Foreign Affairs Ministry. And I saw that on Wednesday when it happened, the Minister for Creative Economy, Anatu Musawa, of course, has used the opportunity to further endear ourselves to the creative industry.
Yes.
Beyond our poise and elegance, she's also saying that I'm very much invested in this industry and we will give all the support that we need to AFRIMA. President Tinubu, by the way, holds the highest honor of AFRIMA when the event held in Lagos in 2016. And the president spoke beautifully, as the pillar of culture that AFRIMA conferred on him. So everybody will be looking forward to a well-packaged, well-put-together show in partnership with the African Union. And of course, Lagos will be agog just before the dirty December starts rolling in.
I was just about to say the exact same thing, that this is literally ushering us into the dirty December season. And I know for a fact that the minister herself, the Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Anatu Musawa, isn't joking about the creative economy. And one of the things I love about this event is the fact that it is one of several that we're going to see the ministry partner on, as well as the fact that events of this magnitude, of this scale, actually speak to jobs as well.
Absolutely.
So it's important that these events are organized and organized well from the beginning to the end, from the arrival to the closing of the event. From security in every sense of the word. Oftentimes we're seeing private stakeholders put together really fantastic, huge events. So I think because there's such importance on the government being involved in this, the expectation will be higher, and it must meet that expectation as well. So I'm looking forward to AFRIMA come November this year.
November 25th to 30th. It will usher in dirty December. And I like the collabo between Lagos State government, which is hosting, and then the federal government. Anatu Musawa says that we will partner everything you need. We will roll out the carpet.
I feel like the minister is going to be outside this dirty December, and we're here for it. We're absolutely here for it. Do we have time to shake anything?
AFRIMA team.
On the
let's
Saturday
quickly
Vanguard.
look at the Vanguard.
I think we'll just take a look at the major story in the Saturday Vanguard, which is on the constitutional review.
4 important stories they've got there, but go on, Kachi.
And basically, I think it's the honors of it's a summarization of everything we've said today. Let our votes count. That's what Nigerians are saying. We've spoken extensively about the politics and politicking of this, the impending election season come 2027. Even today, the local government elections as well. Nigerians are demanding, let our votes count. All this picking and analysis and selections that go on. Nigerians are just saying, please, at the end of the day, let our votes count. Call for real electoral reforms. Says power must shift from Abuja to the people. Ensure fiscal autonomy. Return to the 1963 Constitution. That's what Niger Delta is telling the federal government. Restructure now or risk collapse. That's from the southeast. And from north to south, stakeholders ask for power shift. That's
quite loaded. But let's use the last 20 seconds on The Nation. Two important stories, the political and the entertainment. The politics there says 2027, Southwest PDP rejects Atiku, Obi El-Rufai coalition Osun chair desk 3 senators, 8 reps to defect. It looks like Southwest PDP might be rooting for the governor of Oyo State, Shettima. But of course, we will see how that goes. And then the story of Corona rules out foul play in Mohbad's death, recommends prosecution of the North. She's an auxiliary nurse, isn't it?
Yes.
And what they're saying is that, it was a misapplication of medicine, isn't it?
There's a lot that's still, but that's as much as we can take on the newspaper.
Justice for Mohbad, but the court has given its ruling.
It continues.
All right, then that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
And I'm Kachi Ofia from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.